Hey guys, Tyler's Pep Talks, episode 3. So today, we are going to talk about focus, okay? We've already touched, looking inward to fix our problems, and we've touched on taking responsibility for our actions. But now we're going to talk about focus, okay? And focus is so key because a lot of us have great focus, great focus. But we focus on too many things at one time. All right? When your brain goes in too many different directions at one time, you're not putting your full energy into those projects. All right? When you don't put in all your energy into your projects, then you don't complete them. That's why you might have like 10 different things you're focusing on, but not a single one of them are complete. All right? And honestly, that's a travesty because we as people are capable of anything. All right? They say anything you put your mind to, you can accomplish. Well, that's a fact because your thoughts become things. What you think is what becomes you. Okay? So, we're going to talk about focusing on one, maybe two things at one time, completing those things, and then moving on to something else. Because when you do that, not only do you get a sense of accomplishment, a sense of self-pride because you finished your task, but you're able to accomplish more. Now, I know you're thinking, but if I'm focusing on more than one thing at one time, wouldn't I accomplish more? No, because you're not getting anything finished. Completion is the key. All right? So, today, we're going to talk about focus. Now, everybody knows who Albert Einstein is. All right? And Albert Einstein was a genius and a mind of his age. Okay? But do you know what made him so successful or what he did? He was able to hold thought experiments. And his thought experiments would last years, okay? He would just have experiments going on in his head. One idea for 5 years. 5 years now. He thought and thought and thought and thought about one thing for 5 whole years. That's amazing. That's powerful. That's brain power, all right? And that's what made him so successful. That's what made him so smart. That's what made him capable of transforming science as we know it. So, we're going to take a page out of his book. We are going to focus on solitary items at one time. All right? So, we'll use an example. Getting a better job. All right. Now, there's many different ways of getting a better job. All right. But when you're focused on one thing at a time, you're able to accomplish more. So, let's say for 3 weeks, all we do is send in applications. That's it. All we do is send in resumes. Resumes here, resumes there, resumes here. And it might only be loosely based to what your skill set is. But when you go into a company, like, they're not wanting you to just be a complete entity right then. They want to be able to teach you, to help you learn. So when you're putting in them applications, you're sitting there like, well, that does look cool, but I don't know how to do this, this, and this. But I can do this, this, and this. Send it in anyway, because that's what we're focusing on. All right. And then you can take it a step further and, well, who do I know? Who do I know that has, that is a manager or an owner or has an in, like, whatever you can do to get a foot in the door. And that's what we're focusing on. And you will be amazed at the results you get. You'll be amazed. Because things will pop up in the most unlikeliest situations. You might just be having a talk to somebody about something totally unrelated, and then boom. They'll be like, actually, I know of a company hiring da 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 da. And you're like, wow, where did that come from? See, when you're focused in on one subject, not only are you working towards it, but your subconscious is working towards it. Because that is your entirety of your focus. Your thoughts are becoming things. You see? So when we're focused on one thing, we can't go wrong. We can't go wrong. Now, let's say that took you 6 weeks, right? It took you 6 weeks to get your new job, everything. Now, let's look at if you had, I'm going to do this, I'm going to try that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to try that. 6 months down the road, you're still at the same job you had. You're frustrated because you can't find nothing better. You can't understand why you got all these different things going on, but ain't nothing working. It's because you don't have the energy put into one thing. You don't have enough energy to spread yourself that thin. Your mind is going in too many places at one time. I had a wrestling coach when I was in high school. All right. It wasn't my actual high school wrestling coach, but while I was in high school, I wrestled for him for AAU. And one day, I was doing really, really bad at a tournament, and I was a very, very good wrestler, but I was doing really, really bad. And coach comes up to me and says, "You have too many minds." Man, what are you talking about? I only got one mind. No, Tyler, you're worried about too many things at once. See, there was a pretty girl there, and I was more focused on hanging out with her at the wrestling tournament than I was wrestling in the tournament. And he saw that. He said, "Tyler, you have too many minds. If you want to win, you have to pay attention to this. You can't be worried about her, them, you. You got to be worried about this right here, right now." And I would like to tell you that I took his advice right then and there. I did not. I was still chasing that girl. And as a result, I didn't medal. I didn't get no points. I didn't get nothing. And it hurt my standings because I lost to people that I had already beat. And at the time I was like second in the state. But it hit me about a week later, like what he said. And I realized what he meant. At the time, I didn't realize what he meant. And ever since that moment, I've taken that with me. And my life, now that I'm actually putting it into practice, so much better. Because I'm able to put that energy into one thing. I'm able to isolate the problem or the solution and boom, affect change. Because you're not going to affect change without focus. You're not going to overcome adversity without focus. You're not going to succeed without focus. Single-mindedness. Now, I'm not saying be closed-minded. I'm not saying have single-mindedness on your tasks, on whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. And anything taking you away from that, they need to go, or it needs to go, whatever it is. And this goes just as well as your personal life, work life, church life, whatever it is. Every facet of your life can benefit from focus. But if you're doing too much, if you're trying to make your brain go here, there, here, how can you be anything but lost? How can you do anything but in portions? Because you're not putting your whole capabilities in one thing. Now, I know you're sitting there like, but I got so much stuff going on in my life. I got this and I got that and I got this and I got that. That's fine. Because you can still maintain those things while focusing on whatever is most important. Like whatever complication, or it doesn't even have to be a complication. It could be something good. But whatever is most important at that time, you can put that focus into that and maintain the other things. but you're not stretching yourself thin because you are putting it into that. Whatever your subject, topic, complication, discussion, whatever it is, you're putting that into that. You know, I'm not saying neglect anything. I'm saying when you have that single mind, like, I'm going to finish this, doesn't matter what it is, I'm going to finish this. Boom, that's done. You're like, whew, I did it. Now, next thing, whatever, next thing, and then next thing, and then next thing, and then next thing you know, you're done. And you have a whole new set of things. But when you start finishing and accomplishing things, those things get better. They get better. They get better. So now you're accomplishing good things. Now you're accomplishing a higher pay rate, more free time for your family, more vacation days. You're a higher spiritual being, upgraded vibrational awareness. Whatever it is that you're working towards in your life, they get better. Every time you accomplish a new task, they get better. I'm not saying it gets easier. I'm not saying that. But it gets better. A greater sense of accomplishment. A greater sense of achievement. These are the important things. These are the things that we can substantially say, ooh, I did this. I did this. And no one can take that from you because you did it. You did it. And that's what focus brings you. That's what focus brings you. Now, in my life, the way I used to be and the way I am now, the way I used to be, I was everywhere. I was all over the place. And even now, like, I have to watch myself because I will see that start to happen again. And I have to sit down and be like, all right, what is really important right now? Is spending my money in a club or something like that, or saving up, doing this, doing that? Do I want to go to that concert? Or do I want to go buy drinks? Or do I need a new car? Do I need this? That is what is important in my life right now. And that only happens if you have focus. Because when you don't have focus, oh, I can do this because tomorrow I'm going to do this and the next day I'm going to do that. But none of those days are guaranteed. Anything can happen. What if you get sick? What if your car breaks down? What if you have kids? What if one of your kids gets sick and you have to stay home? Like, anything can happen. But when you have that focus, you're already into that task. You're dialed in. And now, if something happens, like, whew, it's a good thing I didn't do that. It's a good thing that I'm actually got this going here, because now you're not in a negative sphere. You are still in the positive. You might have to take a break, put it on hold, but it's still positive. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we're talking about. And I really hope you learned something from the video. I really do, because I really enjoy making these. And if you leave me a comment, a like, a subscribe, share it, whatever. If you think it'll help somebody, that's what it's here for. Man, I say this all the time, man, but I really do. I love y'all, man. Ain't nothing but love over here. Anything I can do, any topics you want discussed, just let me know. Leave me a comment. Everybody have a great night. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.